Olivia, brace yourself. I have some terrible news to share with you.
What? What kind of terrible news are you talking about?
Remember my older brother and his wife? The ones who swore they would never set foot in our parents' house again? Well, guess what? They've decided to come home for the 4th of July and crash our party.
What? You're kidding me, right? They're actually coming back here?
Yeah, I wish I was kidding, but they're serious. They called me and said they've changed their minds and they want to spend some quality time with the family. They're planning to stay for 3 days.
3 days? That's an eternity with those two. How are we going to survive that? We have so much to do before they arrive.
I know. It's going to be hell, but we have to put on a brave face and try to make the best of it, okay? I've already warned my brother to keep his wife in check and not to let her say anything rude or nasty to you. Hopefully, he'll listen to me this time.
Well, thanks for that. But I don't have high hopes. She's always been so mean and snobby to me. She thinks she's better than me because she's rich and successful. And your brother is no better. He always looks down on you and criticizes everything you do.
Yeah, they're both awful. But let's not let them get to us, alright? My brother has always been a jerk and I've learned to ignore him. But I know it's harder for you, especially when his wife is such a bitch and talks trash about everyone who's not like her. She thinks she's an elite, but she's really just a bully.
You're right. She is a bully and a hypocrite. They both are. They act like they're so superior and happy. But when your mom was sick, they didn't even bother to come and help. And now they want to come home for the 4th of July of all days. What a joke.
My brother doesn't care about anyone but himself. He's always been the black sheep of the family. He doesn't appreciate anything our parents have done for him. Anyway, my mom is really stressed out right now, trying to get everything ready for their arrival. She might need some help from you. I'll be here too, of course. And if you need anything, just let me know. I've got your back.
Okay, I get it. I'll take care of things with your mom, and I'll try to whip up something for the 4th, since I bet all the restaurants will be jam-packed.
That's great. And don't worry too much about the cooking. If you feel like it, you can just grab some ready-made stuff from the store and we can all dig in.
Fine, I'll see what I can do, and we'll figure out the rest later.
So you're the leech who's been sucking the life out of Eric's parents' house, huh?
How dare you? Oh, hello, Emma. It's been a while since I last saw you.
We're only going to grace this place with our presence for a short while, but it figures that you and Eric would be the kind of losers who still live with their parents. I think the word leech is too kind for what you two are to his parents.
What are you implying, Emma?
This is the first time my husband and I have come back to his parents' house in over 2 years. So you better show some respect and gratitude to this family by getting everything ready for our arrival.
I'm sure you expect everything to be perfect for you when you get here. But because of Eric's mom's health issues, things will be very simple this 4th of July.
Why are you spewing such nonsense at me?
What? Nonsense.
Eric's mom is fine, and you know it. Don't start making up lame excuses just because you're too lazy to do things properly.
That's not what I meant at all. When you both get here, I'll explain everything to you about what's been happening here. But please understand that right now, we don't have much to offer you besides the basics. However, I think both of Eric's parents will be happy to have you guys here for 3 days. So it's going to be a fun holiday. I hope you're both excited for your stay as well.
Hey, what was that garbage you served us yesterday for dinner? Are you trying to mess with the 2 elites who are staying in this house now?
What are you talking about? You and your husband both ate what I made for you, right? What was wrong with the dinner?
I'm talking about how you, the wife of my pathetic brother-in-law, cooked dinner in the house that you're a leech in. What the hell do you think you're doing making such horrible tasting food for everyone to eat here? Our mother-in-law didn't even comment on it either. Don't you find that odd? And by the way, we came home to be with you for all of the 4th of July. You should be honoring us with caviar and filet mignon. What is going on here? All of your cooking was just atrocious.
I don't think anything about my cooking was atrocious. Yesterday, I put a lot of effort and care into it.
I don't care how much effort and care you put into it. We are the guests of honor right now, understand? I want better service than that while we're staying here.
From what I understand, you both are just here for the 4th, right? Why do you act like you're some kind of VIPs here? I'm not running this place like it's a 5-star hotel or anything.
Excuse me? What did you just say to me?
What I'm trying to say is that I have no idea why you're getting so worked up over nothing. What are you trying to achieve by harassing me just because I'm living in my husband's parents' house with them? Is this because you're jealous of my cooking skills?
You're not good at cooking. You'll never be as good as I am. What you made for all of us last night was disgusting. Totally inedible and revolting.
What? That doesn't...
I guess this is the kind of pathetic excuse for a dinner that you get in a house where the wife is utterly incompetent at cooking, even the simplest of dishes. I demand that you shower my husband and me with compliments for not throwing up during that entire ordeal last night. It was like swallowing uncooked trash. The next time I come here, I expect to see a plate of succulent perch or something equally delicious for dinner.
I think you are being extremely rude and disrespectful by calling my cooking uncooked trash like that. I don't think you have any authority or justification to be criticizing my cooking like that. I think it's high time you stop being so ungrateful and let me cook what I have already prepared for us and be thankful that you are getting any food at all while you are staying here.
How irritating! Who do you think you are to talk to me like that? After the spectacle you made of yourself yesterday in this house, I'm way above you in every aspect. So you better keep your mouth shut. I'm the wife of the elder brother after all. We decided to grace his parents with our presence for a few days this summer. And this is how we are rewarded? With atrocious cooking like that? We cannot stomach such garbage again. So tonight, I want to have caviar perch and filet mignon for dinner, you stupid witch.
You are never welcome in my house again. Ever.
What did you just say?
You better stop your incessant whining right now. You are a complete moron for talking to my daughter-in-law like that. How can you possibly think it is acceptable to be talking to Olivia in such a nasty tone? Emma, you have done nothing for my family yet, so you have no right to say anything. And as for that dinner that was cooked last night, my ill wife was the one who made it for all of us. She may be very sick right now, but she didn't want to burden Olivia with all the cooking for us, so she took it upon herself. She did all of that out of kindness and consideration for you and my son.
Hold on for a minute. What are you rambling about now? Is this really you, Jordan?
That's right. And you seem to think it's fine to make such insulting remarks about my wife's cooking? But instead of going to her to express your dissatisfaction, you've been venting it, all out on Olivia for no reason at all. You and your husband are never coming back to our house again. No, you are not. You are both banished from here for good.
Wait, calm down for a minute. What's gotten into you today that's made you so angry like that? Normally, you are so composed and reasonable when it comes to your conversations with me. It's not like I'm talking to the same father-in-law I've known all this time.
What did you just say? I have no clue what you are talking about. I may be gentle and calm, but when someone is bad-mouthing my family like you've been, I cannot sit idly by and let you get away with it. I am fed up with you and my eldest always acting like such spoiled brats. Therefore, I am severing all ties with the both of you.
Just calm down for a minute, okay? I think you have the completely wrong impression of what's happening here.
I don't think my impression of what's been happening here is wrong at all. I have seen enough of how you treat Olivia whenever you're around here. And this time was too much. You always seem to be a witch to her. But today was the final straw. I cannot stand any more of what you're doing.
What? Did I say something wrong?
After berating her as much as you have been, you are going to sit there pretending like you've said nothing wrong. What on earth is this about you acting like some kind of a customer here? Thinking you can boss her around like that? I am utterly sick of that behavior from someone as worthless as yourself.
I'm sorry, but you do not need to be getting that furious with me.
If this is the way you behave when you visit your in-laws, then my son must be the same way around here as well. Don't bother coming back to my house again. I mean it, alright?
I'm begging you not to hang up on me. Give me a chance to explain myself. I'm pleading with you. I feel so terrible about what happened. I never imagined that you, of all the people in the world, would react so strongly to what I was saying to her.
As you can clearly witness, Jordan is absolutely livid with you guys right now.
Is this your voice again, Olivia? What in the name of God is happening here? Did you go out and blabber to Jordan things that you had no business sharing with anyone else? Was the person I just had a conversation with really him in the first place?
That was him. I have no motive to impersonate him as of right now.
Then explain to me why he, of all the people on the planet, was using your smartphone to text me when you and I were in the midst of a conversation? Have you been exposing him to our conversation this whole time or something? You're despicable.
I'm despicable. The only reason you have such a huge problem with me, having revealed to him what you're saying, is because you're being an utter jerk to me. If I'm going to be the despicable one, then I suppose that makes you a total dick or something. How do you feel about that?
Did you just insult me with that word?
I certainly did, and that's because your conduct matches one perfectly. So, after having to endure all that nonsense from you, I went and talked to Jordan about it, and, well, you kept on bombarding me with texts while I was conversing with him about you. So I showed him what you were saying, and that's what triggered him to go berserk like that. But he's completely right about what he's told you.
He's right for that? I'm not messing around right now, moron. He was saying things like, for us to pack our bags and to never set foot in this house again. Why on earth would he be saying things like that about my husband and I?
What? If you wanted to keep staying here with us, then maybe you should have been a nicer person while around here. I think there were a lot of things in this house that required your attention while you were here, and those things did not involve you harassing me about the cooking, which I never did.
What are you implying?
Well, I'm just implying that you seem to think you're more valuable than me to this family, and that's why you think you can torment me. But is that really the truth?
Huh? What is this all about? Your attitude is shifting as well now, just like Jordan's.
From what it appears to me, you assumed that Jordan actually admired you as his son's wife and that it meant you could do and say whatever you pleased while around us. But in reality, I've been the one taking care of Eric's mom here, and both her and Jordan adore me so much for it.
Taking care of her? Why are you taking care of someone like her?
You have no idea what's been going on here then, huh? She ended up severely injuring her back in a terrible way, which necessitated me to be here in order to look after her while Jordan's been working.
Huh? I never received any information about her needing someone here all the time to look after her.
I am certain Jordan informed your husband about this a while ago as well, when things first deteriorated for her. But you and your husband never really bothered to talk about the family. Now did you?
That's a lie. We just don't like to waste our time on trivial things between us.
Don't you dare say things like that when it's about your mother-in-law. I have been residing here with Eric for the past half a year now, looking after his mom, okay? That's why, for the Independence Day, while you both returned home, she wanted to spice things up and cook food for all of us for 6 months. Yeah, now she hasn't really been able to do anything by herself, and so she wanted to have something to anticipate. And so that's why she did her utmost to prepare dinner for us all last night.
Well, all that food last night was like something a freshman would make, so I assumed you were the one who whipped it all up. Sorry that I confused who was cooking. Had I known that she was the one who cooked all that food, I would have never uttered a word of criticism about any of it.
Stop attempting to justify yourself now. All you do when it comes to this family is disregard what's going on between all of us and say whatever the heck you please without a shred of concern. And because of that, this time you really made Jordan lose his temper with you.
Well, it wasn't my fault he got angry. I didn't know that our mother-in-law was suffering from back issues, and only informing me about things now is a massive inconvenience for me.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter what I have to say to you now. You and your husband's destinies are doomed. Jordan is going to have a word with her about you guys right now, and after today, they are both severing ties to you guys. Both you and your husband will never be welcome back in this house, nor back in this family.
What are you babbling about there? What are you trying to say we did to you all?
You're going to make me repeat myself. This is what it must feel like to be an elementary school teacher. Then, when it comes to the two of you, you both don't care about what transpires in the family, nor do you bother to lend a hand. And after 2 years of never coming home, you both show up and think you can act like you're our visitors. And not only that, but you also look down on both myself and on Eric, trying your guys' best to make us feel miserable. And then you think that you can treat me like a servant calling me a leech just because we're both living here now.
I'm the elder brother's wife, so I think I'm entitled to do all of that. It's totally acceptable for me to treat you both like that from time to time.
What kind of reasoning is that? It's like you have your head up your ass or something. I'm not going to converse with you anymore if you're thinking of yourself like that all the time. To both my in-laws, I happen to actually be their family now, and since I'm a part of their family, I'm not going to continue chatting to you about them, especially when they see you as nothing more than outsiders now. I can't wait for today to be over so that we no longer have to think of you both.
I don't care if you cut ties to us, but are both my husband's parents really going to do that to us?
Well, that's what it's looking like now. After what kind of garbage you pulled today. Even Jordan said it to you himself that he's cutting ties to the both of you. I don't think he can tolerate you guys anymore, and he'd much rather adore Eric and I over you two.
Hold on a minute. Then what about the plans for the house? What plans for the house are you talking about? Jordan was telling us before that he'd help both of us pay for the new house we're planning on constructing. We had that all mapped out between each other. But does him cutting ties with us mean those plans are off now? There's no way in hell that's the case, right? Please, tell me that's not the case for us right now. I've been so thrilled about having a house built for us that I've gone around boasting about it to everyone.
Well, considering what's been uttered here today, I'm pretty confident those plans are buried now.
What?
I'm not certain what's going to transpire after today, but he did declare that he was severing ties to the both of you. So I'm just going to state it bluntly. But it would be insane if he still assisted you both pay for a new house to be constructed after severing ties. I really don't reckon he's intending to help either one of you now.
No way. It's all because of you, Olivia, that the plans for my dream house are vanished. Is that what's going to occur here? I've been anticipating for so long to have that new house be erected for us. And you're saying Jordan won't help us now? What has all of that restraining myself I've been doing for?
Restraining yourself? Well, maybe you should have strived a little harder at being a decent daughter-in-law so that you'd be granted some money for the house.
I was being a good wife. But after pestering you just a tad bit, all of that time spent feigning my joy in this family was for nothing. This is all your fault. Every single bit of it.
You cease it right now. Trying to pin the blame on me for you being such a heap of crap witch? I like to believe you not getting some money for a new house to be built is what you merit. Haven't you always been flaunting to me about how you both are so-called elites? Something to do with your husband being on the route to becoming the CEO of the company he's working for? You persist to talk about how he's this remarkable businessman for the company. But really, all he is a low-level employee still. Right.
What does he being a low-level employee have to do with anything? It's already astonishing that he gets to work for the biggest company in the city right now.
And you always make it appear like you have all this money at home. But from what I've been able to discern, you don't have a job.
I used to work full-time. I used to be a private secretary back in the day.
Back in the day, right? That means presently, the two of us are both housewives, right? So, I have no freaking clue why you keep looking down on me when we're both riding the same tide. If you were going to whine so much about the food I was preparing, then why didn't you go ahead and cook for all of us last night? But of course, you probably can't do anything correctly with those long and repulsive nails of yours.
You quit that? I'm sorry for mentioning anything about the cooking last night.
What? You just apologized for something. I never thought you'd be capable of learning how to do that.
Can you please go and elucidate all of this to Jordan? I cannot have him loathing me now. After this, I want a new house, so there's no way I can have him loathing me.
That's right. Both of them just wrapped up talking to one another about you and your husband. He said that he's gonna get all that money he's been lending to you guys back really soon.
Huh? From our wedding, he wasn't just paying for that out of generosity.
No, he's told me that he just lent you guys the money until you could both reimburse him. That's what he had told his son back then. So I'm astonished you never heard about this yet again, though you and him don't like to talk about anything that has to do with the family.
You're lying, right? We can't even afford to have a house built for us. And now he wants us to pay him back for the wedding? Are you guys trying to pilfer all our money or something?
Just yesterday, Eric accidentally caught a glimpse of the conversation you and your husband were having. It was something about him being forced to resign from his job.
What are you talking about?
And that's the real reason why you both decided to show up for the 4th of July after disappearing for 2 long years. You guys were desperate for more of his dad's money.
You don't know anything! Wait a minute. My husband quit his job? How could he do that without telling me?
Well, it seems like things have been going downhill for you both back at home after all. Let's just hope those fancy titles of being elites are enough to save you from the mess you've created there. I remember how you used to mock me for being a parasite for living here with Eric's parents, But who were the actual ones that came here to suck his parents dry? Well, that's too bad for you though, because your host is kicking you both out for good. Good luck trying to survive on your own, you worthless pieces of garbage. In the end, it turned out to be the undeniable truth. I had revealed to Emma the shocking news about her husband having quit his job, and when he confirmed it to her once more, she went into a hysterical meltdown when it came to our in-laws. They also decided to sever all relations with them for good, and as a result, Jordan would not be offering any assistance to pay for a new house to be constructed, nor would he be giving them any more financial support. And instead, he demanded that the both of them repay all the money he had generously lent for the wedding. After a few weeks of the four of us had cut ties with those two, I've observed that things in the family have been a lot more tranquil as we no longer need to ever worry about them.